Welcome to the Week 4 post-game show presented by Body by Ryan Fitness. I am Joey Zacco, joined by Stucky, Ryan, Connor, Greg, and a very special guest, still in uniform. After he's still sweating from that overtime thriller. Doesn't even do it justice. We had a shot nearly go down to send it to double overtime. Joel Castillo from Redemption. In case you're having trouble reading those lovely jerseys, very, very nicely done. This is the Week 4 post-game show. Start your nutrition coaching today. Do good, be good, feel good. Feldman and Catapano behind the camera, so if I laugh out of character, they're the reason why. Email bodybyryan@yahoo.com. You can also click on that link below this video. A 100% discount, not a bad deal. Figure it out, to his YouTube channel. So I expect a whole bunch of clicks below. Week 4, I think the 10 o'clock games were pretty crazy. Sometimes it's the 6, and we get them out of the way, the good games. And then sometimes it's the 10 o'clock, and we have to wait all night. But let's start with Redemption, our long buddies. They beat the Bad Boys in overtime. So I know the Bad Boys had a couple new guys they added right before the deadline, sneaky people. But took it to overtime, and was it Jalen? I believe that was Jalen who had the shot with 4 seconds left out of a timeout.
That was Trey.
Trey. Oh, was it Trey?
Yeah.
So then Jalen was the one in the action.
In the action.
Rimmed right out, down 2, so they take a 2-point win. What about that game made it so good?
Yeah, it was such an efficient game from the guys on Redemption tonight. Just a couple names, Eric Silva and Dom Migliaro combined for 34 points, but here's the kicker. They only missed one shot combined. They went 14 for 15. One was 7 for 7, the other was 7 for 8. So just an incredibly efficient night from them. And then at the end of the night, when the game was on the line, Redemption goes to the free throw line, and Scott was able to hit 2 clutch free throws, and he ended up finishing 7 for 7 from the free throw line tonight. So that was another key reason why they won the game. And it was a low-scoring game. After overtime, it still finished both scores in the 60s. So both teams playing tough defense, and Joel came out with a win tonight, and it was a big one for Redemption.
I want to mention Eric Silva, who at least 5 points. I can still see him in the overtime. Nice hook. He does that a lot. And then whether he meant to pass or take the 3. Maybe you can chime in on that, but it went in, so you'll take
Yeah,
the points.
we were talking about that on the bench, because when he made that move and he chucked it up, we all said, Eric. And when he hit it, I think we all turned around, including Trey, that was guarding him. Our jaws dropped. And he was just feeling that. I mean, I don't know if he was trying to make a move and he expected the defender to be there, and it just didn't work out the way it was, and he knew he was about to travel, so he got rid of it. And that was a Hail Mary.
It was one of those no, yes. Oh,
yes.
man, yes. It was one of those.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way, where, when it's a good shooter, it's like, yes, like my team that likes to miss a lot. We'll get to them. Central Chocolate and Lob, now 20-point win for Central Chocolate, who had a lot of their new players. But the play of the night, I think Eric Singleton had a great game as well. And I think that game was closer than the score says, but are you guys now ready to put Central Chocolate in that upper echelon of teams?
I am. They have a recipe of 5 players in double figures. They have the playmaker in Santarelli who could hit any shot at any time. He shot 50% from 3 tonight. So when you have balance like that, along with an elite scorer to lead the way, then I think you can go deep into the playoffs in this league. But you're right, Singleton for Lob was unreal. I'm sure we'll be seeing him on the top plays of the week a couple times.
Yes. I'm not sure how much you know about Lob, those guys. Have you played them?
Not yet.
Okay. This season?
Not at all.
Oh, at all. So you're gonna skate by them. But I know Carmine has come and worked out. I've seen you flaunted videos of trying to steal Carmine from his own team. But what about, Central Chocolate, I don't know if you saw them, but what about Carmine, and his team?
When you got
stands
Carmine
out?
in the mix, he's definitely going to make things happen. I know when we played him last year, and he set the record, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we basically knew he was going to be a passer. He helps his teammates get easy shots. When you get open looks like that, they're going to hit him.
Yeah.
But he came out against us as a shooter. So this year, what I saw in the beginning of the season in Central Chocolate, I just said, this is early. This is not the team that I think they can be. And I think right now you're starting to see, like you said, that perfect recipe.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know who they play the rest of the way. I'm sure they'll have a couple good teams, and we'll be able to kind of see as they find their groove. So from 200 points scored between Moose and Lob, what's that, 80? 88 combined between Moose and Flint, while Joel was playing. But Team Moose, knocks off an undefeated, so then there were 3. So Flint gets their first loss. What about, Kevin Blake strolled in late, was stretching on the bench, I love it. They were both Blake brothers showed up late. But, Flint, I think, had a point in the first quarter. But what did Team Moose do to hand them their first loss?
Basically just explained it. They play defense. Their defense is unbelievable. 1 first quarter point. You mentioned the Blake brothers come in late. Connor Daly goes out with an injury for a little while. He's arguably their best player, and they still just put the clamps on a high-scoring team like the Tropics. And once you go down to a team like Moose, it's so hard to come back, because not only do they play really good defense, they slow the game down to a crawl. And Flint was talking about it after the game. They were frustrated with that pace of play, which is probably really frustrating when it's at your expense. So it's really hard to come back when you play a fundamentally sound team that just maximizes every possession and really milks the clock when they have a lead.
So it's definitely important to try to get a lead against them. Easier said than done for sure. Anything on? Have you seen Flint or Moose yet? They're 2 newer teams.
I've seen them, and they're both very talented. But I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes because it could be frustrating when you got a game plan, you got a rhythm, and you slow the game up like that. It can really work against them.
And you never know who you're going to see in the playoffs. Got to be ready. Got to take it all in. That's what the 9 weeks are for. Feldman smirks behind the camera. Stranger danger comes up short, unfortunately. I think Sportsbook just played a good game, and I'm interested in what you guys saw, but I don't think it was necessarily anything wrong by either team. I just think Sportsbook was the better team today, and they made plays down the stretch to seal the deal.
Funny thing is, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Nice. Clearly, I was watching. Huh?
I think Stranger Danger continues with their regular season woes. Right? They can't close out a game. Ball security at the end of games. Last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, you got 6 or 7 turnovers. You can't do that when you're trying to climb out of a hole, right? Sportsbook had 5 players in double figures. Brian Acevedo, of course, led the way. He had 17 points. But Zachary Graham of Stranger Danger was phenomenal. 29 points, 7 rebounds. So the kid can play ball. The funny thing about this Stranger Danger team is they can compete with any team in this league. But when it comes to closing out games in that last 5 minutes, they cannot do it. And they need ball security. Just like last week, you had the guys on the sideline yelling, "Hey, ball, clock, clock, clock." This week, you had nothing. So that proved to be the reason why they lost ball security in those last 5 minutes.
Yep. And Sportsbook Stranger, Joel? I know you know Sportsbook. They've been around.
It's nice to see teams who struggled last year really step up this year. Sportsbook and Stranger Danger. I just see a lot of improvement. But those are the teams that, if it's not your night, they'll take you out.
No Limit in Fry Time. I think No Limit covered that spread. I think they knew the spread and made sure to cover 118-45. I think we can keep this one kind of short. No Limit coming in, definitely the favorite.
Rashawn Hendricks, 12 points, 17 assists, 9 steals. He was 1 steal from triple-double. I might have missed a steal, I don't know, but we were just talking, his play on that team is scary for the league because he does the things that really make a great player in this league. If he's not shooting well, he'll be playing D, he'll be playing his butt off, he'll be doing everything he can for his team. And I really think that, just like Joel just said, he can take No Limit to another level they've never seen.
Anything else on him?
You just said what I said.
He covered it. Monstars Untouchables also scoring 118. 118-55. The Monstars also took care of their business. Anything, Chris Rosario was back. That was nice, but it wasn't enough. 2 in a row for Greg.
Greg Langston. I was telling Connor, Reggie is, every time he's playing, you just watch Snapchat, he flies right on you off your screen. The Monstars are a very complete team, a good team. I know they obviously feel a little slighted in the league right now, but I'm really interested to see what happens when they play, more competition. I think they play the Brotherhood coming up, or if I'm not sure, but
maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, they're a complete team, and I really want to see them in more of not a real game, but a more competitive game.
Yeah, Monstars. His name is burned into my mind from last season. But those Langston boys are definitely a difference maker for that team.
Be nice. Double Dribblers run TMC 93-71. We can do a couple commentary on this. This is one of the last closer games. Goon STP coming up. TMC does get the win. Didn't even have our full team again. Nick was coming late and then never made it, so that was cool. Crowd was against us. It's always fun.
It's always
So,
But yeah, go ahead.
You say you don't have a full team.
Yeah.
When you got a kid like Quincy McKnight on his debut scoring 30 points, you don't need a full team, right? But also on that other side, Bernard Brantley had 30 points.
Yep.
So you got 2 30-point scorers in one game. That's exciting basketball. That's basketball you want to see. But Run TMC dismissed after the first half any ideas of upset. Because in that first half, double dribblers came out hot. That third quarter, that second quarter, they outscored Run TMC. But that third and fourth quarter and that halftime, whatever was said in that halftime huddle for Run TMC, I don't know what was said, but whatever was said, they came out in that second half and they played basketball really well. They stopped the easy transition buckets from double dribblers, and Will Hudson turned it on. I mean, whenever Will can do what Will does, and that is grab boards and contribute as a big man on Run TMC, we're gonna win games by large margins. Quincy McKnight in the debut and Bernard Brantley in the debut, 2 30-point debuts, great basketball.
I know Run TMC we had a nice semifinal, nice game before last week, overtime. Played in the semifinals. I don't even know if you've seen the double dribblers, but what do you got?
I have nothing. I haven't seen them. I know we saw Run TMC last week, and it just seems like every week there's a different player on that squad.
Well, if it's happening after this week, then we'll have a problem. So stay tuned. Don't worry, guys. Joel's on my case about that. So you have someone in everyone else's corner. Sometimes why the Throne 80-48. I think we kind of thought this one might be a little closer. After how sometimes Y kind of looked last week, but the Throne had a lot of their guys, no Joe, again, but the Throne put them away.
It's just, the Throne's one of those teams that you don't want to see in the playoffs. They're a higher seed. They play good team basketball. You can tell they've all played together before. They don't have really one star. I mean, Jean Baptiste plays well. Sean Mofiat at 18. I mean, I know they returned Joe Baccarello hopefully in a few weeks, but they just play good team ball. They play defense. They play hard. You can see the effort from them, and they're one of those teams that they may not be a top 4 seed, but you don't want to see them come playoff time.
What's the story of Baccarello?
Bacciello.
Bacciello.
I don't know. I think he got hurt. He was playing soccer and he got hurt, so I expect him to be back. We'll have to stay tuned for that. Throne? Seen any of them?
I've seen a little bit.
Purple
I've seen a little
leaders?
bit. For some reason, like some of our games are early, they're later, and it just conflicts. But I hear a lot of good things about them. Tough team.
For sure. And they take care of business. Goon Squad STP, I know that this was one of the games that we had our eyes on in the pregame, and STP wins 76-62. Goon Squad had 4 guys. It's never good when you come to me before the game like, hey, so if we want a sub, can we go with 3? That usually doesn't end well when you're trying to figure out rest. It's nice to have a bench, especially the pace of this league. But what did STP show? I think that surprised some people.
They showed good preparation. They saw they had an opponent with literally 0 bench, so they basically just went out on fast breaks every single possession, got out and hustled in transition, and really wore Goon Squad down, and there was nothing they could do about it because there was no breathers to be had. And then they were really physical down low, just did everything they could to wear out Goon Squad, and then mix in making some shots with that, and it was a pretty good recipe for a win against a short-handed team.
I think respect needs to be given to STP at this point. They started off struggling because they had a tough schedule, right? But they've showed in the last 2 weeks that they can play ball and they can be dominant basketball team in this league. They beat a team with 3 guys on that team that are arguably some of the best players in this league. Matt Marconi. Massaro.
Yep.
These guys are DJ Ellis. These are guys that we talk about every week so far that score high. So I mean, STP needs a little bit of respect on their name, a little bit. You know what I mean?
You're one of those teams that played STP, and I think you have Goon next, right?
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of history between the guys on Goon Squad and STP and our guys. But I said it week 1 post game. STP is going to be that team that is going to quickly adjust to the tempo of this game, and they got power, in Capodago in the paint, and you've got some speed on the outside, and you got some of the guys who just like the garbage players who just pick up all the loose ends that you need on a team like that, and hit the open guy. So watch out for SCP. Watch out for SCP.
I will. I will admit I was wrong. I know we were talking before. I'm sure some of you guys were. You guys all didn't pick. You all didn't pick STP.
Nope.
Okay, right. So there you go. So so thank you for coming on this side of the right and wrong. Flight Club and Brotherhood, literally the best for last. I know that there were some good dunks, but 135-91. So maybe not a lot of defense, but I know the game was never in doubt.
Yeah, this was insane to see. Let me just say this, I was obviously my first year of watching Legacy Leagues, and up through 4 weeks, I'd say Joe Bacciello's Week 2 performance was my favorite to watch so far, the 41 points. But tonight, he was passed out by Mike Davis, who came out and scored 51 points on 11 for 15 shooting from 3 and 20 for 25 from the field.
That might be a record. We were talking about that before. I think 11 threes in a game is a record.
And these guys were looking at him scared because they don't want to guard him close. You don't want to get the crossover.
Somebody should have taken that note. Somebody didn't get that memo tonight.
So they were giving him space, and Mike Davis was loving it. He was not missing. And it's important to not let his performance overshadow Russ Payton, who went 18 for 20 from the field, 39 points, and even Derek Davis, who went 9 for 10 from the field for 23 points. These guys don't miss. So if Brotherhood plays like this, they're dangerous.
Just a little context. Russ has done that before. He was the all-time scorer, and he did something like 28 to 32 shooting at one point. So yes.
Russell may be one of the best players we have in this league. I don't know. I see him, if he continues this level of play, he could win the MVP in this league. He's one of the best players.
Well, you have this look on your face.
I still got this expression in my face when I saw Mike at the end of the game just bring the ball between the defender's legs and then picked it up from behind, and the guy just went skating, and I was upset just to find out that the person who was videotaping deleted that.
All right, let me explain. With these Snapchats, you have to delete footage extremely fast sometimes to quickly get the next play. Right after I saw the shot not go in, I quickly pressed X and delete the clip. I am mistakenly wrong. I wish I saved it to my phone. That would be all over YouTube right now, going viral. But I will say to everybody, and Joel, that was my fault, and I will not let it happen again.
So this is Connor Sauer.
Yep.
You can go find him on Facebook.
Oh, no, it's over.
And that's a great way to end the Week 4 postgame show, presented by Body by Ryan Fitness. For the guys, our special guest, Joel Castillo. I'm Joey Zacco. Stay tuned to The Hub. I think that's been a huge success. Quickly on that. Getting everything in one spot for you guys. Recap, stats, this post-game show. And we update it with the top plays, power rankings around the arc. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just come to the site every day. Instagram, Twitter, and you'll be updated. But for Week 4, we're halfway. Just about halfway. So 3 undefeated teams. And we'll see you in Week 5. We are here next week, July 3rd. So we'll see you Monday at 5 o'clock for the pregame show.